The sound of a hand striking skin shattered the calm of the luxury store. Every customer froze, eyes widening, gasps cutting through the silence. A store manager had just slapped a black woman in front of everyone, his face twisted with anger as though he had put someone in their place. But the truth, hidden from his arrogant eyes, was darker than he could ever imagine. The woman he had humiliated wasn't just a customer. She was the billionaire who owned the store, the brand, the empire. Phones rose into the air, recording. The chaos, the tension so thick it was almost unbearable. What happened next would shake every person who witnessed it. Welcome, story lovers. From where are you watching? Comment the name of your city below. Amara Williams wasn't the type of billionaire who lived behind closed gates and only saw the world through tinted car windows. She built her empire from the ground up, knowing every detail of her business mattered. Her luxury stores stretched. Across the nation, symbols of elegance, success, and prestige. But Amara's sharpest weapon wasn't her wealth. It was her ability to see the truth behind the polished smiles of employees and the shine of expensive products. That morning, she chose to test her flagship store personally. She wore a cream-colored suit, professional but understated, without the flash of diamonds or a designer bag. She wanted to see how customers like her, an ordinary black woman walking into an upscale store, would be treated. The space glittered, with polished glass cases and rows of handbags, perfumes, and accessories. Customers strolled, admiring items with soft music playing in the background. To them, Amara blended in perfectly, but inside her, there was a quiet readiness. She had seen discrimination before. She knew the world had a way of showing its true colors when it thought no one of power was watching. The first sign came swiftly. As Amara examined a handbag, a sales associate glanced at her briefly, then turned away. She didn't offer a greeting, didn't smile, just walked to help a white couple who had entered seconds later. Amara stood silently, watching as the associate's tone brightened, her hands almost eager as she displayed items for them. Minutes passed. Amara moved toward another display, her posture calm, but her mind sharp. She finally asked about a necklace locked in a glass case. The associate sighed, rolling her eyes slightly, and muttered that it was very expensive before walking away. Customers nearby caught the dismissive tone. Some looked away uncomfortably, others smirked knowingly. Amara said nothing. Then came the escalation. The store manager appeared. Tall, with slicked-back hair and the confidence of unchecked authority, he walked straight toward Amara. His voice was louder than necessary, drawing attention. "What are you doing here? You don't look like you belong." The words sliced through the air, dripping with contempt. Heads turned. The wealthy couple glanced at Amara with curiosity and judgment. A security guard shifted uneasily, waiting for direction. Amara stood firm, arms crossed, her calm demeanor enraging him further. The manager accused her of distracting staff, of pretending to shop where she couldn't afford to buy. His insults grew sharper, meant to strip away her dignity in front of the crowd. The store buzzed with whispers, some recording quietly, on their phones. And then, it happened. His hand rose in a flash of rage and came down across her face. The sound cracked through the air, silencing the room. Amara didn't move. She didn't flinch. She stood there, regal, her cheeks stinging but her spirit unshaken. The store trembled with the weight of what had just occurred. The crowd was stunned. Phones captured every angle of the slap. The wealthy couple stepped back in shock. The staff stood frozen, some horrified, others too afraid to intervene. The security guard looked paralyzed, torn between his manager's authority and his conscience. But Amara remained still. Slowly, she adjusted her blazer, straightened her shoulders, and raised her chin. The silence in the room was unbearable, thick with tension. Everyone waited for her to break, for tears, for anger, for retreat. But instead, her calm defiance only made her presence larger. The manager smirked, believing he had humiliated her, his chest puffed with false victory. He had no idea that his career, his reputation, his entire life as he knew it, was collapsing at that very moment. Because in the corner of the store, Amara's private security, always nearby when she visited anonymously, had stepped in. Within minutes, additional corporate security stormed in, not for her, but for him. The manager's arrogance began to crack as murmurs spread. This wasn't an ordinary woman. Something about her composure, her unflinching strength. It hinted at a truth he couldn't yet see. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps. The truth came like a hammer. Amara calmly reached into her purse, pulling out an ID card embossed with the company's insignia. Gasps rippled through the crowd as she revealed not just her identity, but her ownership. "This is my store, my company, my empire." The manager's face drained of color, his arrogance collapsing into terror. Customers whispered frantically, some replaying the slap they had just witnessed, realizing the gravity of what he had done. Staff members exchanged wide-eyed looks, some silently ashamed for ignoring her minutes earlier. Corporate security placed a firm hand on the manager's shoulder and escorted him out. His protests were drowned by the murmurs of customers and the buzzing of phone cameras capturing his downfall. Amara turned to the room, her voice calm yet commanding. She didn't lash out, didn't gloat. Instead, she reminded everyone present. Respect must never depend on race, appearance, or assumptions. She left them with a truth they couldn't forget. Discrimination hides in plain sight, until moments like this expose it. The slap may have stung her skin, but it scarred his legacy. How many more humiliations like this must happen before society finally changes? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos.